Here's what you get with this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
Skin cancer is like the number one cancer for men, and it's the most preventable. So if you just put your daytime moisturizer, you just put an SPF on, you're gonna give yourself like a 70% chance of not having skin cancer on your face and nose. So that's it. You wash your face, you put a moisturizer on. In our case, you put a daytime moisturizer on with SPF.
Right.
And you repeat at night. So before you brush your teeth, before you get in bed, you wash your face and you put your PM moisturizer on. So that's it. And we had, so it's wash, moisturize in the morning, wash, moisturize at night. We put one more thing in the box, which is a scrub. So an exfoliating scrub. You need to exfoliate twice a week. We call them scrub days. So this is it. And 54% of our guys are doing just that. That's all they're doing.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better do it, and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast. I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So, pretty please, with sugar on top. Listen to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by Turnkey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
All right, Nice Guy community, welcome back. You've asked for it, and we are here to deliver product reviews and the companies that made the products, and actually the presidents or the bigwigs of the companies that made the products too. Well, since I can't steal the name How I Built This from NPR, we can do almost as good on this segment called How I Made This. So check this out. Fellow Baltimorean Kelley Thornton, along with two other heavy hitters, created this company called Tiege Hanley Inc. in 2016. Now, they're an e-commerce company with the mission of helping men look and feel amazing. 500,000 customers globally, $100 million in lifetime sales. I'm excited to chat with them because I've actually tried these products. Kelley, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. I'm super excited for so many reasons to chat with you today. Talked about products and, of course, talked about my upbringing in Baltimore, Maryland. Haven't been back there in a long time, but I love it there.
Yeah, I want to start there. So you didn't go to Towson State University. Where did you go? Did you go to college at all in Baltimore? Or what's even your connection with Baltimore?
Yeah, I mean, I'm born and raised there. So I was born and raised in Towson, the Towson area. I don't know how many people listen to your show are from, know this geographically, know this space, but
tell it.
Little beautiful state of Maryland, Chesapeake Bay, Inner Harbor, Fort McHenry. I mean, just fantastic beaches, just great stuff. And I've been 32 years in Chicago. So I'm a Chicagoan, downtown, born and raised, had my children down here in Chicago, educated them here. So I am a Chicagoan, but Maryland is in that beautiful area of the country, East Coast, right on the water, has great springs, beautiful falls, gets a little cold, but not crazy. Great summers. It's wonderful. Rolling hills, a lot of history.
I don't hear any Baltimore Hun going on in there. I don't hear much Baltimore accent. It's been Chicago'd out of you, I think.
I think it has been, but I do miss it there, of course. And have some relatives there. My aunt still lives there and a couple of my cousins, but, really miss it. I think like all big cities, Baltimore is, going through its tough times and good times, and same with Chicago. But shout out to all the Marylanders out there.
Heck yeah. Well, Maggie from your team reached out to me. This was going back several months ago and said, "Hey, we're interested in having our head muckety muck Kelley on the show. Would you be interested?" And I said, "I'd be interested, but I'm actually even more interested in trying some of your products." We feel like we have this really cool cross section of audience members, entrepreneurs, people that can relate totally to the bootstrapped way in the beginning, the rise and challenges of the brand new entrepreneur. And I said, we'd love to have them on the show, but could you send us some products? We tried to get the Dollar Shave Club. They were sold to Unilever. Right in the middle of them saying yes to us. And I'm like, all right, well, let's keep hammering away. So we checked out your products. We love your products, but I got some questions, and now that I have the guy that's in charge of all this, I figured I can ask you. Can I put you through the mill a little bit? Is that okay?
I would really like that. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
And you're okay
Love
with me doing this on the show? I promise I'm not slamming you. I just want to ask some
go
challenging
all the way.
questions.
Go hard. Really.
Okay.
I'd
So,
love to hear all of your thoughts, and
all
we
right.
can talk about it.
All right, so
Yep.
I'm holding this up for the video,
Yep.
but although this is an audio podcast,
Yeah.
it doesn't do shit for the
That's right. He's got a
So-
box in his hand. Looks amazing.
I got a Tiege Hanley, amazing looking box in my hand, and I open up the box, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there were 7 or 8 products in the box.
Yeah.
The first thing I read was it says Tiege Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men, and I'm
Right.
thinking 3 products is uncomplicated. 4
Right.
is starting to get a little complex.
Yep.
8 is getting really challenging. Like, I don't know. And even though there was a bunch of really easy to read literature in here and QR codes and stuff, I right out of the box, I'm like, oh shit, please tell me that this is not going to be a complicated process of skincare. So can you just answer that? And then I want to get into the good.
Yeah. I mean, like, seriously. I mean, there's a couple theses as to why we start this business. One is we're 99%, we're 100% direct to consumer brand.
Yep.
So we don't give our, get our product into guys' hands from, sitting on their couch. Well, why is that important? Because guys don't like to shop, right? So, the thesis is that skincare for men was basically, created in a very similar vein as women were originally.
Right,
I'm going back to the origins of it.
With
you'd
male packaging.
Yeah, with and exactly with male packaging, exactly. And you'd see like a picture of like Fabio or somebody like that with like water, bare chested with like water, bouncing off his chest, and that was like supposed to engage, the male consumer. Like, yeah, I want to buy that skincare, and then you'd go in and there'd be like a million products, BB tints and toners and all this stuff.
Right.
And guys just aren't like that. We're Neanderthals compared to women. So okay. You've got a box with a bunch of product in it. Well, first and foremost, we're a routine company. So we're skincare, like our bread and butter is that we create simplified skincare routines for dudes. Okay. Let me just unpack that for a second.
But I love that. It's like, I wish it had been simplified. What did you just call it? Because you just
simplified skincare routines, but I'm going to explain it. I'm going to tell you why, Doug, that you are right, but partially. Okay. So
no doubt.
So, we're routines. Like, okay, the core of a skincare routine, but I'm just going to talk 1 second about why you should have a routine. You need to have, like, if you're going to be a successful dude, okay, my opinion, not, no one else's. If you're going to be a successful dude in the world, and you can define success however you want, financially, with your friends, that I live in a mountain and get to ski every day, but I don't have to work, whatever it is. You have to have healthy routines in your life, right?
Agreed.
Like you have to, like that's why the military makes you like make your bed first
thing
in the
morning.
Right. Yeah, right. All this shit. Right. Yep. So having a healthy skincare routine is just like having a healthy oral care routine. You brush your teeth. All right, here we go. Here's your answer. You really need to do 2 things to have a good skincare routine. You need you need 2 products. Okay.
Can I say them before you say it, or do you?
Yeah,
know?
please.
I'm thinking I need to clean my skin. I need to moisturize my skin.
Boom. Yeah. I thought you.
Am I right?
That is it. That is it. So,
okay.
So more than half of all of our customers are doing this every week with our systems. Our system has 4 items in it. It has a wash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
that's in my shower right now, so I can't show you that one.
Perfect. It's a great place for it. Seriously. Right. Yeah. You wash your face. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you wash your face. Why do you need a wash? You need like a really high quality wash. It's not going to strip, your skin dry, and it's going to leave your skin hydrated, and it's going to provide some moisturizing elements, and it's going to leave the pH of your skin correct.
It smells really good too. I love that.
Thank you. Right. So you need to wash, and then you need to moisturize. Our moisturizer has an SPF in it. I was talking to a guy. There you go. Boom. Yeah, I was talking to a guy. It's exactly 30-day supply if you use it exactly how we tell you in the instruction card. You need an SPF. We have an SPF 20. It seems a little bit light, but if you live in Maryland, I live in Chicago, I got in the car this morning. I stopped and got coffee, got back in the car, came here, parked my car, walked into my building. I walked out to take my dog out at noon. He's with me today. And so you need SPF. Why? Well, skin cancer is like the number one cancer for men, and it's the most preventable. So if you just put your daytime moisturizer, you just put an SPF on, you're gonna give yourself like a 70% chance of not having skin cancer on your face and nose. So that's it. You wash your face, you put a moisturizer on. In our case, you put a daytime moisturizer on with SPF.
Right. And
you repeat at night. So before you brush your teeth, before you get in bed, you wash your face and you put your PM moisturizer on. So that's it. And we had, so it's wash, moisturize in the morning, wash, moisturize at night. We put one more thing in the box, which is a scrub. So an exfoliating scrub. You need to exfoliate twice a week. We call them scrub days. So this is it. And 54% of our guys are doing just that. That's all they're doing.
So, so was this more like the sample box?
Yeah, I gave you the amped up box with a whole bunch of goodies in it.
I got it. Okay, so part of it was my ignorance in the receiving of the box. If I opened it up and there was here's the AM and PM and here's the scrub and here is the wash in one little thing that says, here's your uncomplicated. Here's how we're going to complicate it. We're going to give you these other 3 or 4 products too. That for me, that would have been the thing. But I understand now that, so when people are buying and it's a monthly subscription, right? So it's
right. Not everybody buys it monthly, but it's set up like, we give a 26% discount if you take it monthly. So, and some people just buy it on subscription. Some people just buy it whenever they want, and that's cool too. We love those guys. But
so the subscription, when somebody subscribes to the uncomplicated AM, PM scrub and wash, they're getting these 4 things in the box. Okay,
right. And if you use it exactly how we show, you'll actually have about 35 days supply. And then you can kind of, some guys use it in like 28, so they just adjust their timing. So that's it. What I gave you on top of it is that's what we call our essential box, our level 1 box. Most of our guys are taking that. We have an advanced box, which has an eye cream in it. So that takes us to 5 items. And then we have an anti-aging box. And the anti-aging box adds a serum.
I got that too.
And since you and I have already talked about it, we're in like the same generation, if you want to put it that way. I gave you the full Monty, and then I probably threw in a couple other items. So that's the way.
There is one product that I was really interested in. It wasn't in the box, and it was that one. It was the one that, is that a new product? It's the retinol stick. I don't know anything about it. It looks like deodorant for the forehead, though. So
it's insane. That product, we can barely keep that product in stock, and we're ordering like tens of thousands at a time. Retinol is like, it's like cocaine for your skin. It is so good for your skin. Retinoids and retinol A and retinol palmitate are just like really, really, really good stuff for your skin.
By the way, Nice Guy Community, we're not endorsing the use of cocaine on your skin. We were just using it as an example. It might have not have been the greatest of examples to use, but I think we all know the flavor of what Kelley is saying.
Thank you for correcting me. Yes, I
don't want you to call me back and say, "Hey, can you take that thing off of my message because I fucked up."
I take that back. Withdraw that. Okay. It is great stuff. Great fuel for your skin. And so and if you use that at night in your nighttime routine, it's packed in a squalene, which is like a natural olive-based derivative of a moisturizer. Use it at night. You wake up in the morning and you're like, your skin just looks different. It's unbelievable, that product. And we just launched it, I think, in the fall of last year, and it's in stick form. And the reason why it's in stick form is to make it like super guy friendly. You just kind of like snap it up and you just kind of go like this, this and this. And I put it on my neck because I'm getting flabby. So it's a killer product. People see results from it. That's why. Yeah, that's why it's all
I want to go back to something you said earlier, where you gave the example of Fabio on the packaging. And
Yeah.
I've come from the brand of the Andrew Weil. So for me, I
Yeah,
was coming
sure.
from the big bearded guy, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
really can't relate to the big bearded guy, but I somehow can relate to a number of the photos that I've seen on your website and the guys, just normal guys using your product, and I
Yeah.
love that. I also love the fact that I'm a former Origins skincare user, and
Yep.
I'm even more so becoming a believer of Tiege Hanley after our so far
Thanks.
from our call today. But they don't have a subscription program set up through Lancome or whoever
Yep.
owns
Lancome,
Origins.
right.
I don't remember anymore. But it is amazing how much business they lose from me because it's like, oh, I don't fucking want to order it right
I
now.
know.
And if
I
you put
know.
yourself in a position to say, hey, we can send this on a regular basis, and then you potentially, because you're online and direct to consumer, remind me, hey, you didn't order this month. Do you want to order this month? I'm sure you have a really good marketing plan for that. That's a
Yeah.
good
I mean,
formula.
we're like a modern day subscription company, Doug. And what I mean by that is like we're completely pain in the ass free. Like if you're ordering a product and you're on subscription, you're not happy, you just call us up and like, I'm not happy. Most of the time, if you have a product and we'll be like, yeah, keep the product. I mean, we don't
Right.
people think of subscription like it's kind of a bad thing. We make it so painless here. And or if you have too much product, you call us up and say like, hey dude, I got too much product. Can you not ship me for the next 2 months? Or can you
Well,
pause me? I mean, it's
everything
like,
nowadays that is success driven and market driven is subscription based. Even my cat food is subscription based. The Amazon sets it up so that if I order light bulbs today, they're like, "Hey, you want to set this up on subscription so you get another one next month." And I'm like, "Well, maybe not light bulbs, but toilet paper.
yeah, right.
That would make sense." Certainly, the consumables like a product like skincare or deodorant or any of those things, non-hard goods, I want them to come on subscription because I don't want to fucking think about it.
Yeah. Well, I was in Atlanta. No, I was in Dallas early this week. And there was this woman, she gave a speech for like, there's like maybe a couple thousand people in the room. She was from the VP of marketing from Panasonic WELL, I think, which is like their wellness, Panasonic Wellness. I hope I got that right. And she was talking about subscription. And she was like, she's a mother of 3 children,
Mm-hmm.
lives in Colorado, has animals like horses and stuff on her property. And she's like, I'm just like swamped all the time. Like my life is so complicated.
Right.
If we bring that back in. And she's like, like when you do subscription really well, it's like really good for the consumer, you know?
Well, I agree with you. I think if you do it well and you follow up and you're a good marketing company and you're not competing with your own big box store, and it sounds like you guys are all direct to consumer. So I'm assuming you
Correct.
don't have
Yeah.
any are you dealing with any locations at all?
0.
Okay. And are you in any established stores or is it all direct to
0.
consumer? Don't you? I mean, you don't have to think very hard. It's not like you have to worry about pleasing Nordstrom's or pleasing Target or Walmart
No.
and dealing with all the bullshit that a big box is gonna, put you
Yeah.
through. And you probably don't have any kind of accounts receivable problem either, do you?
0. Right. I mean, you get it. I mean, look, I'm proud of what we built here as a company, and I'm proud that we have a great relationship directly with our consumers. Tiege's trying to grow up, and I say that in air quotes, and like, be available and more widely available. We do want to be where guys are shopping. So we are working on that over the next couple of years. We actually have a kind of a plan and strategy for that. But right now, we're really happy with having, over 500,000 customers. We ship to 103 countries, down from 108. And we're shipping internationally every day. We're shipping all over Canada from our door to our customer in 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
We're shipping, into the UK in 3 to 5 days, all of Europe in 5 to 7 days. And, it's just, we don't, we need to grow and be more visible on
Absolutely.
shelf, but that's not right now. We still have some fish to fry.
Are you
Some crabs to eat.
are you shipping from one central location or do you have fulfillment centers any place else?
We fulfill ourselves in Chicago, always have.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've taken a great approach to this. I want to talk about if you're okay with opening your hand a little bit and sharing a little bit about the growth of the business, because it sounds like, based upon some of the research that I've been able to do, and completely, squash me if I'm telling a mistruth here, but you were going along, doing fine, everything was great. Then you met somebody that put you on the map when it comes to, viral ownership of or distributorship of your product and your brand. So can you just walk us through what happened?
Yeah, I mean, we launched. So I had another company before this, Doug. I had like a global retail strategy company. It's basically a shopper marketing company. Had the idea through work that I was doing with my clients there that we could, skincare was an important thing. Raising awareness of guys taking care of themselves. You should go in the skincare business, do it online. Wrote up an executive summary, about a 12-page executive summary, not quite a business plan. Gave it to a college roommate of mine who just was very fortunate and just had been had an exit from the business that he was working for. And I'm like, can you take a look at this thing and let me know what you think about this? He's like, I don't know anything about skincare, but this seems really good to me.
Right.
I'm like, okay. So we launched this concept of routine in a box, direct to consumer in 2015. And it bombed. I mean, it
was
sucked.
Ahead of its time. It was almost too early.
It was horrible. We had two or three really big problems. Number one is we're putting highly curated product. So because I was doing a lot of work overseas and stuff, I was aware of all this like really high-end men's skincare products.
Yeah.
We're putting those in a box. People didn't really know about those products. And it was like full sizes of everything. And it wasn't measured out correctly.
Right.
And then we had no voice. Like no one knew who we were and we were just blabbing. No one gave a shit about us.
Right.
So we had like kind of those three things. We did that for a while and it sucked. It was like try to sell 500 units and we couldn't. And we're like, well, we need a guy to help us talk about this. And there's this guy named Aaron Marino. He's a phenomenal guy, business partner. Rob, fast forward, Rob and myself and Aaron Marino become business partners in the fall of 2015. Rob's from Connecticut, and Aaron's from Marietta, Georgia, or Atlanta, Georgia, and we strike this partnership. What Aaron brought at the time, he had like 750,000 followers on YouTube, and he was talking about men's grooming. So he's like talking to dudes about men's grooming.
Right.
And I'm like, let's reach out to Aaron and see if he wants to pitch this concept. So when we reached out to Aaron, he said, this is great, but we need to develop our own brand. You can't be selling other people's products. We need to develop our own formulas. We need to make our own brand, and we need to make it like work together as a system. And so that's what Aaron brought to the table. And he brought to the table the voice. So he had a big voice and he started talking about our brand. And eventually, sales took off. We had thousands of guys buying our product when we first relaunched in 2016. And we had thousands of guys 8 years ago next month. We had thousands of guys buying our product. And, sales just continued to accelerate. So it accelerated right away.
All right, so I got the notion of why you and your YouTuber friend were involved in the partnership. How'd the third guy get in there? What was his voice?
Rob just
there's always a Rob, isn't there?
He's fantastic. I mean, he really, both. It's crazy. I have two really fantastic business partners, and to get one good business partner is hard enough.
I hear you.
But to get two that are really good, that you've really enjoyed being, on the ride with, I think it's fantastic. So Rob came in, he was working in the business. So Aaron was working, talking about the business externally from the business, talking about the business. And Rob and I were working in the business, on the business.
We went, Strick and I, my partner in our podcast production business, we went to a startup conference, because while we are not a startup style company, we're a bootstrap production company that, I don't know for millions of dollars of exiting. I know of sweat and toil and, 10 years of putting in my sweat equity into something. Yeah. But we learned this phrase, hipster, huckster, and hacker. So I don't know if I need to define any hipster, huckster, or hacker for you, but if I were to put you in the hipster, huckster, hacker category, I'm going to put you as probably the huckster, And the sales guy, are you the sales guy, relationship builder of your group, or I'll let you do it. Name
Yeah.
which of the three categories your guys fit into.
It's so hard. I mean, Aaron's more of a sales guy, right? Aaron's the kind of
He's the huckster.
he's the huckster. There's no doubt about it.
So that would
I
make you
say,
either the hacker or the hipster. So
unfortunately, I'm going to take hipster. I'm absolutely give Rob the hacker because he was the one. He was the one really kind of managing the back end of our bit, like
totally
the not the operational back end, but the business, the marketing website kind of back end of
all
our
right.
business.
All
So
right, that's
that would
cool.
make him the hacker.
Well,
yeah.
put you guys, give you guys an exercise when the three of you are together having your next business meeting and discuss
I'll work on
the
that.
hacker and the huckster.
Huckster.
So what's the plan? So I heard a little bit about while I badmouth having companies like Target and Walmart, and it sounds like that's a future for you. So sorry for tarnishing any of that if you're going in that direction. But
No.
So what is the plan though? Is that where you want to go eventually?
Yeah, we have a 3-year roadmap, and loosely out there for all my competitors listening, it's continue growing our business direct to consumer, continue to grow that domestically in a couple different direct to consumer channels, and product innovation is really, really, really important to us. We actually make insanely good products, which is why our customers keep on coming back. And working on our brand, the strength of our brand is really important, and working on our international business is really important. So those are the things, and then working on wholesale, like you just kicked off. Yeah, those are the things that we're really focusing on.
The only reason I ask you that about the whole where you going in the retail sector, even the wholesale sector, is because I take your brand, the brand that you have, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, and I'm thinking uncomplicated subscription service for business seems like, could you go out and get more business from new customers being retail, or could you get more business from the customers that you already have, or continue that path? I see a company like Amazon, ultimate in direct to consumer, $1 trillion in sales. Couldn't you just triple, quadruple, tenfold your business, your direct to consumer business, without stepping foot into a retail environment?
I think you could easily triple it. Amazon is the other direct consumer. We call that like our marketplace business. So it's like, it's not a traditional wholesale account. It is a direct.
I didn't even realize that you were on there. I was just using.
We are on Amazon, and to a very much smaller extent, we're on Walmart.com. And the reason why we're on Walmart.com is people are arbitraging us, so they're buying our product and like reselling. Same with eBay, by the way. People are buying our product and figuring out Doug's never heard of it, so we're going to mark it up, $15 and sell it to Doug. Look, and by the way, Amazon's a phenomenal partner to us. And so we're really, really happy with our results.
Well,
with
and if
Amazon.
nothing more, for additional brand recognition, even if somebody buys you from Amazon and continues to buy, but don't people oftentimes figure out a way to get to you directly anyway?
Yeah, I think there's a synergistic kind of relationship with them. I don't think guys that are buying us on Amazon, guys that are buying at Tiege.com necessarily go over and purchase, intentionally on Amazon. Guys that are on Amazon, may or may not come to Tiege.com. They probably are to check us out. Our prices are parity. Our subscription prices on Tiege.com are less. But we really just want to meet guys where, kind of where they're at. And if they're comfortable shopping on Amazon, that's great. That's fine. That's fine with us at Tiege.
At what point does Amazon say, we should have a Tiger hammer line of our very own, and then and mimic what you guys do? Because you get too big on their site, I would assume, unless your product was so unique or so patented that they couldn't copy, quote unquote copy, as an Amazon basic what they're already doing. I'm not speaking negatively about Amazon. I love Amazon. They come to my house 4 times a day. I'm just always wondering, how does a guy that has a $10 million a year business survive on an Amazon where they could just duplicate the services?
Yeah, well, there are competitors of ours on Amazon that are, pretty kind of knockoffs of our brand. The products are made in China. They're put in a box and they're sold for half the price, right? And I mean,
right.
I think that's a more likely scenario, meaning that,
Got it.
uh, two
Yeah,
dudes
but
decide to.
I don't want goose liver in my face cream though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's like,
crazy.
who knows what's going into it?
God, I was at this conference in Dallas, and I was talking to the founder of a women's skincare business, and we're a little bit bigger than him. He's in the mid 20 million range, and he's buying all of his cream, all of his
Right,
facial
right.
serums and facial creams. He's buying everything from China. I don't even like. It's Bananaville, man. I mean, people are like,
Right.
I don't even know what they like. There could be turpentine in there. I mean, they could open it up and there could be like mold on top of the goop that's in the bottle. I mean, it's just, I'm like, how do you manage quality? He's like, well, we have really good partners and they like look at, stuff before they send it out the door. I'm like, really?
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's insanity. I mean, we do quality safety testing on every single item that we have. We're globally compliant with our product safety wise. And there's plenty of companies out there, consumer buyer beware. You can be on Amazon buying, a knockoff of our product, and and it's being made in China. I mean, it says right on the box. So
Right.
that's more likely to happen than Amazon knocking us off.
I appreciate you sharing all the stuff that you have about your products. Can I make a right turn here, a sharp right turn?
Oh, yeah.
And just talk
Sure.
about you for a second, because this is really the fun part.
Yeah, I'm not the hipster, so I'm not sure. Maybe I am the hipster.
That's okay. We'll have a good conversation. I am definitely a classic car fan. I have a couple of other podcasts. One is called Ford Mustang, the early years. Another is called Ford Pickup Trucks, the early years, to match my 67 and my 65 Ford F-250 and Mustang. And so I always like to find out, if I can, what's in your garage that you're really proud of?
Are you kidding me? Nothing.
I love it. That's okay.
The coolest thing I have in my garage is a 2008 Vespa LSV 150.
Nice.
With a Maryland crab sticker on the side, and no one has any idea
Right.
that is you've seen it. You live in Maryland. Everybody has the same crab sticker on their car. It's a Maryland flag with a cutout of a Maryland blue crab. That's the coolest thing I have in my garage. Doug, I am an entrepreneur that has poured my heart and soul and all my financial capital, and hundreds of thousands of dollars of my financial capital into my business. I drive around in a Ford Escape, a 2013 Ford Escape. I mean, it's just not on my radar. My wife has a little nicer car because, I just don't want to embarrass her. Like,
no, I'm with you,
going to see
man.
her friends.
2011 Highlander with 190,000 miles on it in my driveway in Ojai, California, and I walk out every day and I'm like, I love you for just continuing to take me from point A to point B. I'm not like a machine, like a flashy kind of guy. I love my old cars. I rent them out, so it's actually an income producer for me. I got to go out Sunday to a movie set on about 20 miles from my house. I get excited.
Hey, look, don't misunderstand me. I will die to have a car like 65 Ford F-150, whatever.
Right.
I would love it. It's just, it ain't happening right now. I can tell you what I want.
Yeah.
I would like a late 80s 450 SL convertible,
Nice.
2-door.
Yeah.
That's what I would like.
Yep.
And why? Probably because, my father had one.
My dad had one too, 450 SL.
Yeah, that's and that's where it came from. I probably love to drive around in one of those old cars. But that's just a nostalgic thing, right? We remember as kids being in that car.
Yep. What's your most proud accomplishment outside of business, of course? What's your most proud accomplishment?
So simple. 3 well-adjusted kids and a beautiful wife.
Oh, that's great. How old are your kids?
24-year-old twins. One lives in New York. One lives in Chicago and works in my business, boy and girl. My daughter lives in New York. And I have a 19-year-old that's at Michigan State. Go Spartans.
Talk about the one that works for you for a second, because I was a member or a part of my of course my family, and my dad was the creator of Sandler Sales, but I never was involved in the business because his wife, not my mom, but my stepmom, just wouldn't have me in the business. So
Interesting.
200 plus franchises of this amazing multi-million dollar organization, and here I am like knocking on the window.
Oh
Can
my
I come
God.
in? But a lot of positive came from that because I was able to take that energy and focus on my own thing, and fortunately it's been great. But I always wonder, what's it like to have a kid in your business and one that you can relate to so much?
So did you make it? Did you make it in? Pounding on the windows? Did it ever
Fuck
happen?
no, no,
Oh my
never,
God.
never got in the business. Never got in the business. Now, I've had dozens and dozens of franchisees come to me saying, "Hey, we'd love to have you because you have the Sandler name. Love to have you as a part of our team." Getting vetoed every step of the way by the powers that be. So no, it was not a good. It was not a. My dad, I loved him as a business guy. He was a tremendously successful business guy. But as a dad, I would tell this to him, and he knows this before he passed. He sucked, So
Do we have the same dads? They drove the same cars, and
maybe
I mean,
same thing. Good business guy, but
I
just sucked.
yeah, I worked with my father all my corporate years, about 18 years, and it's just that was not good. It was not a good. We worked in a large corporation. There was plenty of space for
Right.
both of us. He had a very senior executive title, but we were both sales guys. I can understand, like, if your stepmother was like, I can kind of understand, because when family does business together, it can be
Yeah.
very, very disrupt. It can be
Yep.
destructive.
Well, it also could be, that there's some fear in there, that there's some takeover and there's a power struggle and all of the other
Yeah.
bullshit that's involved in the relationship. I don't really know. They're both gone
Yeah.
from this earth, so I can't question them. I never had the ability to really ask. But I set that entire story up not to boo-hoo me, but rather to say, hey, tell me about the relationship.
Yeah.
I often
Okay.
get some good energy from okay, tell me about your relationship with you and your son.
Well, I think he's gonna, if he was here right now, he's done for the day. If he was here right now, he would probably tell you it sucks. I personally think it's fantastic.
Wow.
Right. So just I'll answer your question directly. Because of the fact that I worked with my father for 18 years, I try not to talk much about business outside of work. I mean, very limited time outside of work do I talk business with my son, because then it just becomes like,
right.
A constant,
and you have three other people in your family, and you kind of alienates.
It's just horrible. So and that's what my father did to me. So we don't really talk much about outside of work. He actually works in our warehouse, and he's trying to get into the other side of the office, and he'll be here soon if he keeps on doing a good job. But I'm like, dude, you're gonna pack boxes. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, you're gonna pack boxes. Like, if you want to run a company someday, you're gonna start.
Got to start in the mailroom. Start in the mailroom, right?
You're gonna start in the mailroom.
Right. Right.
Sweep some floors and pack some boxes. So that's what he does. He comes in early, packs boxes, but he sits in a lot of the meetings, and he's learning the business from the ground up. And if he doesn't like it, then he can fuck off and go find a job someplace else.
I appreciate you saying that, and I like your where you've placed him in the organization, and you can earn your way to that spot. If there's somebody that is more deserving, of course, there's going to have to be a conversation that you got to step up if you want this job. But I'm sure that down the road, if he chooses to, at assembly line or boxing status, he's probably having a hard time seeing the forest for the trees.
I know it, but
right?
but if he gets, and a foot in the door on the, marketing side of the business, it'll be because of his own initiative.
Right.
And the people that are a bunch of people sitting out in front of me would be the next stop on his journey. They're going to make a decision if they want him on his team or not. And they've already hired over him. So when they think he's right and ready, then he'll come on to that team. It'll be based on his performance.
Great. Great. I appreciate you sharing that, and thank you for including me in the story. Sorry you had to hear my boohoo story, my sob story of
yeah. We'd like to deconstruct that a bit, but I don't think we have enough time. And it sounds like an expensive story.
Yeah, it's a very expensive story. For those in our listening community, Nice Guy community, we'll make sure we put a link in the show notes so that you can get to. It's just Tiege.com, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and we'll spell that in the
super easy to find.
Yeah, we'll put that right in the show notes. So don't worry about, how do you spell Tiege? It's TIEGE.com. But we'll make sure we put a link in the show notes so that you have access to that. Anything that I'm supposed to ask you that I haven't asked you yet, Kelley?
No, you've done a great job. I've loved your questions. Really grateful.
This is totally great. I was so happy when Maggie reached out to me. I got to figure out. I'm going to talk a little shop talk from a podcast perspective. You are the ideal brand for our community to hear more of every time. I don't know if your marketing team has room in their 2025, 26, 24 budget for any kind of advertising, but we know the Dollar Shave Club type of products would go well. They would not talk to us. We've tried so hard to find that ideal. We want to represent your product. Let's figure out how to make it work. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you just because that was my sales pitch for that.
Well, it's a good sales pitch, and we spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising, including podcasts. It hasn't been the greatest forum for us. We'd love to talk to you about it. So there's guys over here that I empower to spend money, and we should have them hooked up with you guys.
Let's figure out how to make that happen, or to close the door so I just shut my fucking mouth about it. Because every time I get somebody on the show that's like, oh, you would be a great product for us to represent. There's not many, but I know the products that like my clients and my customers or my audience actually would like to buy. Jerky was another product. We had a guy that was pitching jerky, and he sold a lot of jerky, and it's just like, okay, well, I know, I'm not talking that your product is like jerky, but your product
I get it. Yeah.
is the perfect avenue. Our audience, the perfect avenue. All right, Kelley, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate you being here, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks, so.
Hey, Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice or the power of a good men's skincare system. Ladies, if you're listening to the show, this shit is for your hubbies. You can even use it too. We actually had our loyal listener, Emily. I think she tried some of the products. She said, these aren't bad. They're not bad for me. Better for your husband, Jason, though. Thank you, Emily, for being on the show. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. They have listeners in other countries? I didn't think anyone was listening outside of their house. Except maybe their moms.